Oh, you know it. You know it. Play that sax, my boy. Play that shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so good. Y'all hear this shit? This is how you start a podcast, baby. This is how it's done. Oh my god. I can't take it. Turn it off. Turn it off. What is up, guys? And welcome to the very first episode of the NineCast. I will be your host, MaineMania. And, I really struggled. I really struggled on coming up with a name for this podcast series that I've been wanting to do for such a damn long time. I was thinking about my Random Maniac talk show that I used to do on Twitch, and I wanted to keep that same energy. You feel me? Like, I wanted to be able to do a talk show that was about everything and anything that was on my mind. And as much as that is usually what my streams are, I wanted to focus certain conversations for this podcast once a week, every week on my YouTube channel. So, that being said, what is Maine gonna rant about today? Listen, guys, I don't know if it's a product of miseducation or if people just don't get it, but rant is such a negative word. I don't know, like I just wonder if people just don't know better or they just don't know what the word actually means. It's like one of the rudest things you could say to somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, a streamer's job is to keep you guys entertained and to pretty much always be talking about something. And then you go to the streamer's channel and tell them that they're ranting. It's like, bruh, maybe you don't stream yourself. Maybe you've never streamed, or maybe you've tried and it hasn't worked out for you. But like, that's what streamers are supposed to do. They have to keep on talking. You know what I'm saying? You got to always have things to talk about. And then there's always that one person that comes to the chat and they're like, oh, this streamer's ranting. Like, no, they're streaming. They're doing their job. What is wrong with you? Do you not understand the way this works? If you want to watch hardcore gameplay, go watch a speedrunner. What's wrong with you? I just don't understand some people sometimes. But enough about that. I really struggled with finding a name. So why the name NineCast? Well, this is how it started. I was standing in front of a mirror and I slowly unzipped my pants and I said, damn! I know I got one of my regulars mad with that shit just now. I know someone got mad, like, Maine, don't do it. Like, if this was Twitch, like, it would have been like 10 people typing Maine in caps in the chat. Like, no, I'm kidding. So why the name NineCast? One of my past jobs, where I was, managing a bar. I was a bar manager at the time. I was hiring a lot of bartenders, and I had a discussion with someone else in management, and we were talking about something, and they just didn't want to listen. They had no interest in listening to what I was explaining to them, which was a faster and way more effective way to make the drink without sacrificing the quality of the drink in any way whatsoever. However, they got the recipe for these drinks from a bartender that they really look up to from another restaurant, and they wanted it done exactly the way that person, who does not work with us or for us, wanted those drinks made. Now, I basically said to her, I said, give me two numbers that add up to 9. And she said, 5 plus 4. And I said 6 plus 3. And she was like, it's the same thing. And I said, exactly. Both answers are right. And I try to explain to her, like, there isn't just one way to think or one way to see things. And she was like, what are you getting at? And I was like, I'm trying to explain to you that this bartender created these drinks and he made it one way, but I'm explaining to you that the way he makes it is costing us both time and money. And if we can start training our bartenders to make this drink this way instead, not only will we save a lot of time, but we'll be serving more drinks and making more money in the end. It's a win-win for us. There isn't just one way to make these drinks. And I know a better way and a faster way. And I think you should give it a try. And that is the reason why the 9 in my logo, which looks like ass, even though I spent hours trying to come up with something that looked presentable. I'm not good with graphical designs, guys. If anybody there is good and you can create a logo that looks better, holla at your boy. But anyways, that is the reason why the 9 in my logo is sideways. That's done on purpose. Imagine you and I sitting across from each other at a short table. And there's one white piece of paper on the table. And I have a Sharpie in my hand. Imagine that really quickly. We're sitting directly across from each other. We're about 2 feet apart. I grab the paper. And on the paper, I draw a giant 9. I just drew a 9 on a piece of paper. But what does that look like to you? From my side, it's a 9. But from your side, it's a 6. And I've always been intrigued with how one-track minded people can be sometimes. But you just have to realize that different people are going to have different points of view. And that means that their opinions on things are not always going to be the same. It doesn't always mean someone's right and someone's wrong. You know, there isn't just one way to get the same results. But more importantly, the same understanding. Like, we have to strive to understand each other more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should always be okay to share your opinions as long as you remain open-minded at the same time. So, with that being said, welcome to the NineCast. I wanted to take it back for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to take it back. I wanted to go back to my humble beginnings of a streamer. When I used to stream in the dark, wear whatever the hell I want, and speak about whatever comes to mind. So, that's why I decided on no face cam and honestly no filter for this podcast of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, topics, they're going to include basically every and anything that I want to talk about. You know, I'm a single adult male in the dating scene. And so, you know, you could probably expect a lot of relationship and dating segments as well. We are going to always have a dating segment on this podcast weekly. I call it the dating corner, but we're not going to go there yet. It's a little bit too early. I'll get there in a little bit. But, you know, I have a lot of plans for this podcast. All right. I also plan to feature other YouTubers and aspiring content creators as well. You know, in future weeks, I definitely want to feature some people. And I definitely want to bring more voices to the show in the future, you know, so we can have multiple perspectives and have a little bit of dialogue and you know, even a healthy debate here and there about different topics, you know, especially when it comes to the men's and the women's. Because Lord knows men and women just can't get along in today's damn society. We gonna need to save that for another show, because I could do a whole nother show on that shit. Oh my God. Why do y'all hate each other so much? Sorry, I got a little loud right there, but I just don't understand it. Like, why are men and women constantly at odds and coming for each other's necks social networks like every day, fam. Like every day. We not going there. Like I said, we'll save that for another show. And maybe if I have a female guest on, then we could duke it out. Accepting all challengers. Let me not even go there. But yeah, you know, I've been wanting to do this podcast for a while now, and I spent hours and hours trying to create this shit logo that I came up with. I mean, maybe it's not that bad. When I tell you I spent hours on it, fam, I'm so bad when it comes to graphics. This took me hours. I had it in like 8 different positions, 8 different color textures, palettes, gradients. I even added gradients, and then I said I don't want gradients in my damn logo. Like I just, you have no idea how much tinkering I did. Oh, it was not fun. But you know, I had a vision for what I wanted your background on screen to look like for those of you who are watching the podcast versus just listening to it. And this is what I pictured. I'll explain it, and then, you know, maybe if someone's a graphical artist or knows how to animate, maybe they can draw for me in the future. But I wanted like a rolling animation of me sitting in a chair with a table next to me and one of those old school fancy microphones on the table and a fire in the background. And I wanted to have a very small and subtle crackling of the fire as it burns. That's the only background audio you would hear during the podcast outside of my voice. Just that small crackling fire. Not distracting, but just soothing. I don't know. It was my vision. But I wanted to have me sitting in a chair. You would see me from like, kind of like a back angle as I'm looking at the fire in the background. The microphone is to my side, or even like an anchored microphone, like a crane arm with the microphone coming down. And, you know, a couple of different interactions with other things in the backgrounds. I just had this vision of something, and I can't create it myself because I don't know how to do arts. Maine doesn't art, okay? I don't know how to do this shit. I be having to learn all of this stuff so I can create all my graphics and everything. And I almost canceled the series because I knew what I wanted and I couldn't do it. But listen, man, this is something I'm learning in life, is everything can't be perfect, fam. You know, everything can't be perfect. Like, sometimes you just got to get going. You just got to start. Okay? Like, the first step is just to start. It won't be where you want it to be right away, but just start. Get going. You know, when you ride a bike for the first time, you just have to pedal. You know what I'm saying? If you stop, you're going to tip over because you ain't got no training wheels. You got to pedal. And you got to keep pedaling. But as you keep going, your momentum carries you and gives you the balance you need to stay upright. And there's a lot of things are like that in life where you're intimidated, you're scared, or you feel like you want this or you want that. You want it this way, you want it that way. And it's not perfect yet, so you're not going to waste your time. But it's like, just get started. Get started. You know, we all have to start somewhere. And sometimes you got to be humble and start with whatever you have and just see where you go from there. See where it takes you. So that's what I decided to do. You know, I'm too much of a perfectionist, and I wanted these amazing background visuals that would be fun and entertaining to watch as you guys listen to my conversation. And I couldn't get exactly what I wanted right now, but maybe in the future I will. And that's why it was important for me to get started. But, you know, I'm just too much of a perfectionist in general. That's just my personality. And I mean, when it comes to my content, all right, everybody knows, if you haven't known by now, like, my biggest YouTube inspiration is Kobe. And he's such a perfectionist. And, like, I used to watch his Let's Plays and everything he talks about. And he was always talking about, like, constantly improving the quality of his streams and his gameplay to the point where he started upscaling it in 4K before most gamers were. And that mentality of always wanting to make your channel better, your streams better, your quality better, constantly improving everything that you're doing, that kind of stuck with me as I was learning and as I became a content creator. And blame Kobe, all right? Blame Kobe. Shout out to the boy. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But in regards to this show specifically and my podcast and what I wanted to do, you know, I was greatly inspired by my favorite YouTubers, the Game Grumps, and their 10-minute Power Hour show, which is it's a shit show, man. I don't know what else to call it. I mean, I love them as content creators, but sometimes the stuff they do on that show, it's like, why did they make a show about this? But the truth is, it's inspiring because you have two huge YouTubers that have millions of subscribers, and they went out and created something that is just stuff they want to do. And I find that inspiring because it's very hard, you know, as a content creator. Like, even myself, you know, it's something that, you know, people may feel like I'm complaining about a lot, but it's because it's true and it's something I'm really struggling with. It's like people that just want you to play what they want to watch. As a smaller content creator, I understand full-hearted how it feels when you feel like you're constantly being pressured or pigeonholed into playing one thing or one game. And I'm the kind of person where I'll stop enjoying that game if I feel like I'm being forced to play it. Like, it won't be fun for me anymore. And I tell people all the time because I really believe it. I really feel like it's true. Like, if I don't want to play a game, it's not going to be fun for you to watch. Because if I'm not enjoying myself and I'm not enthusiastic and excited as I should be, how am I going to make what I'm playing fun, enthusiastic, and exciting if I don't feel that way inside? My energy's always genuine. My energy's always real. Good and bad. Like, I've got great energy, but just like everybody else in the world, you know, you rub me the wrong way, you're gonna catch a L too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will see my bad side. And like, a lot of people like to test you, you know, they like to test you because they feel like because you're on camera, you got to be on your best behavior. But like, just because someone's on camera and doing a show, like, I am not a paid actor. And I will remind people of that forever. I am not a paid actor. I'm a real person. So you're going to talk to me with respect and you're going to treat me with respect. The same respect that I talk to other people with and treat other people with, you're going to show that to me, or your ass is going to get timed out, banned, all of the above. But I'm not even trying to go there. The point is, I was really inspired by them creating a show that's just about doing what they feel like doing. And they actually introduced me to a couple of YouTubers that they brought under their wing, Super Mega, and they have their own podcast. And I've been listening to their podcast for weeks now, and I enjoy it. And even though theirs is very goofy and all that good stuff, it's something I really enjoy. I actually recreated the red sound blip in my logo to pay homage to them, for basically kind of being like the straw that broke the camel's back. You know, like I said, this is something I've wanted to do for months, but listening to their podcast every week, and, you know, it really just made me say, like, what am I doing? Like, why am I wasting time? Just, let's go, Maine. Let's do this shit. Let's do it. Sometimes you just gotta go. Listening to that podcast every week and watching Wrestling Inc.'s podcast every week and really enjoying that, I said it was time to go. It was time to start my podcast. And so here we go. We started my podcast. So first up, let's take a quick dive into the dating corner. You know, I'm telling y'all, I could do shows upon shows upon shows about this shit. I'm dating. I've been dating for a while now. You know, I don't really like to talk about my dates a lot on stream because there's always that one person that always wants to bring up some girl or some date I went on in front of somebody else as soon as somebody says something in the chat. And it's just kind of like, bruh, Me opening up about these things and talking about these things does not give you the right to bring them up every single time something comes up in the chat. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like they think they snitching on me. Like, I ain't gonna get into the full damn story because I don't really get into too much details when it comes to stuff like this. Maybe I will in the future. Maybe if this show grows and people really enjoy it, maybe I will. But I guess what I'm struggling with right now is like defining things, right? Like one question no man ever likes to be asked is, what are we? You know what I'm saying? Like, like be real. Like that's the one question that'll have a dude's face just turn into Kanye real fast, like real quick. You'll be like, so we've been talking for a couple of months now, and Maine, I just want to know, what are we? Immediate Kanye face. Immediate Kanye face. So I kind of had this situation happen to me recently, and this time it was the other way around. Strangely, right? There was a girl. Her and I have been talking for a couple of months. You know, we chilled a few times. We chilled like 3 times already. Call it 3 hangouts, 3 dates. And she came to spend the weekend with me recently. And we were having a conversation. And somewhere in the conversation, we were talking about, you know, people acting single and doing single activities. And I made the comment somewhere along the lines of, well, you know, now that we're dating, I wouldn't do so-and-so because I wouldn't feel right about it, you know? And she was like, oh, we're dating now. Oh, I see. And I looked at her like, what do you mean by that? Like, well, aren't we? And she was like, I guess. And I'm like, I mean, this is like our 4th date. Like, isn't dating like going on dates with someone? I mean, maybe she interpreted it differently. Like, I wasn't trying to say like, you're my girl or nothing crazy like that. But it became very awkward very fast after that. Because a simple comment that I made, which I honestly thought was a positive thing, she kind of read into it a little bit. And I was just kind of like, it got so weird for me after that. And I don't know. Maybe like this whole stage of defining things, like, I don't know, I'll ask you guys, like, how many dates do you go on with someone before you consider yourself to be dating them? Like, when do you actually define things? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking like, all right, we talk every day. We text throughout the day and we talk on the phone almost every day. And it's been like that for a couple of months now. Hung out a few times already. And you're spending the weekend at my house. Why would you act all awkward because I said we're dating? I don't know. Like, is it weird when you've been going on dates with someone and they consider you guys to be dating, but you don't yet? The thing is, everybody defines things differently. And there is no right or wrong answer to it. It's really the matter of people define things differently. Somebody could kiss you once and say you guys are talking. And then you may say, oh, we're not talking, yet you've been on 3 dates with them. Everyone has their own definitions for where you guys are in the pre-official, Facebook official days. You know what I'm saying? Like, before you guys are officially boyfriend and girlfriend, I feel like the two people are almost never on the same page in regards to what they consider them to be until they are officially boyfriend and girlfriend. So I don't know. I find that very interesting. But you know what? The truth is, I could talk about this kind of stuff forever. So let me know how you feel about that in the comment section, because I can go on about this kind of stuff for days, son. For days. And now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's conversation, I want to give a quick shout out to my two sponsors on Twitch. The first being Humble Bundle. If you guys did not know, I am partnered with Humble Bundle. So if you use my code MaineMania, you guys will actually be able to purchase the games that you want, the comics you want to read, the software that you want to download. You'll be purchasing that for either the same price you would at any other store or less. And on top of that, not only will your purchases help support my content, but more importantly, a portion of those proceeds will be donated to charity. And if you can buy the same exact game on another platform that is going to donate a portion of those proceeds to charity versus giving 100% of those proceeds to the game developers who are already rich as shit, like, let's help out those in need. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to Humble Bundle. My code is MaineMania. The link will be in the description below. In addition to them, if you guys are looking to upgrade or replace your gaming headset, I'm also partnered with Lucid Sound. And if you guys did not know, you can go through any of my videos. You will always see me rocking a Lucid Sound headset. Their headsets are amazing. They are the most convenient. They have the best controls. They have amazing sound quality. And they're just so simple to set up and use. So I highly recommend Lucid Sound's headsets. I personally rock with the LS41, but part of that's because I'm a streamer. If you're looking for a wireless headset like mine, you can get it for a great price. And if you use my coupon code MaineMania, you'll be able to save 20% off of any headset you decide to purchase with them. If you guys need help looking for one or selecting one, I have multiple of their headsets. That's how much I love them and enjoy using them, and I'd be more than happy to help you guys pick out a model that's great for you. So once again, my coupon code for both Humble and Lucid Sound is MaineMania, and the links to both sites will be in the description below. Make sure you guys check those out. Now let's talk about what I really wanted to talk about today, okay? Why do people watch people play video games on the internet? It's such a strange concept to so many people. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Why do people watch? Do they watch someone play because they're really good? Do they watch someone play because they're really funny? I don't know. Let me ask you all a question. Why do you watch my content? Because there's constantly a struggle. There is a constant struggle that I experience. And it's whether to focus on being entertaining and my normal self, which most people find funny, or focus on getting really good at the game. So you tell me, honestly, and answer honestly. Just be truthful. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Be truthful. Keep it 100. Keep it 100. Why do you watch my gaming content? What made you watch my gaming content? Because everyone watches for their own reasons. Do you know what I'm saying? When I started streaming, man, I just played games that I had fun playing. And then I was introduced to Overwatch, and that changed everything. Overwatch made me so damn competitive, but it's a gift and a curse, man. So many things. It's just a gift and a curse. Like, competitive gaming can be cancer. You ask yourself, why do people watch you play? And you want to be great at the game you're playing, but do most people care? Do you know what I'm saying? How do you find your audience? You know, for me specifically, my ideal audience would be people that love my commentary and my energy more than gameplay. On my channel, gameplay will always be secondary. Always. It's secondary. And I know a lot of gamers maybe don't like that or don't appreciate that. because they just want to watch gameplay, but that's not what my brand is. My brand is entertainment. I want people that come to my channel and come with great energy, excited to be there and engage in the conversations that I have on a daily basis. Do you know what I mean? People don't get how difficult it is to be a streamer. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no one really sees that. They don't really see these struggles that we have. As a streamer, you have to deal with people, even when you don't want to deal with people. You know how you have those days where you just want everybody to leave you the hell alone and just do what you want to do and you don't want to be bothered. You don't get to do that as a streamer. You lose the option to do that, you know? And the thing is, some viewers are awesome. Some viewers are so much fun and they come through and they have dope energy. And some are absolute dicks. Keeping it 100. Like, some people come through just to judge your gameplay because they think they are a god at the game. You know, I talked to a couple of my moderators about this recently, but it was so annoying for me. There was someone in my channel, you know, they watched my channel for maybe 3-4 hours. And then when their other friends on Twitch came through and I guess followed them into my channel, then they turned into my biggest critic. All of a sudden, these 3 people are watching me play Dead by Daylight and talking junk. Oh, I'm not even that good. How did I get to rank 1? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yo, homegirl, you have been here for 4 hours. How do you watch someone's channel for 4 hours out of the hundreds of streamers playing that game? You watched me for 4 hours, and it wasn't until your try-hard friends showed up that all of a sudden you're trying to jump on the bandwagon and criticize my gameplay. And it's like, these are the things you have to deal with as a streamer. It becomes very frustrating, but not a lot of people get that. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't know how frustrating that is when you're trying to make people smile and be entertaining. You know what I mean? Like I said, there are some people that make streaming so much fun. They're fun to play with, they're fun to talk to, and they have dope energy. But then there's other people that are mean as fuck and try to make my damn heart hurt. Like, it's hard to always ignore that kind of stuff. And people don't get it until you clap back. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't get it until you clap back. It's all fun and games until you give someone a taste of their own medicine. And then they try to make you look like the bad guy after. It's like, you can't win. Sometimes you just got to bite your tongue and let it eat you inside and pretend it doesn't. But it does. And you ask yourself, like, what are these people's motivations? You know, it's just as bad as the people that stop by. They make a bunch of racist comments in the chat, call me the N-word, say all kinds of crazy shit, right? And then they get banned, and then they leave. But you ask yourself, like, what's the point of that? You know? Like, what are you going through in your life? What's the point of that? What was your goal? If you're trying to get a reaction out of me, you're not going to get that. Like, why are you so mad? I didn't bang your girl. Like, what are you so mad about? What got your panties in a bunch? Sometimes I be wanting to ask people that kind of shit because it's just true. Like, I don't understand their motivation for being so toxic, you know? And, you know, multiplayer is another situation where this has been coming up as well. Multiplayer has actually felt like cancer too. People use you for someone to play with. Like, think about this with me for a minute. Just listen and think. People use you for someone to play with. If they can't play with you, they just leave. Or they don't watch. And if they do that, you'll never grow. Like just think about that. Right? Most multiplayer games only allow about 2 to 5 more people on your team, right? 2 players, Apex, right? Teams of 3, and I'm one of them. Overwatch, teams of 6, and I'm one of them. So on average, 2 to 5 more people can play with you. But I have 4,000 followers. I have 4,000 plus followers on Twitch. If even 20 people want to play with me, they can't. They just can't. There's no space, my boy. You can't. There's not enough space, and there never will be. And it can become so cumbersome, right? If I was to try to like create a join queue. And the fact that my moderators are barely freaking around, how would I even manage something like that? They're not even around to help me out. On top of that, right? Getting people to join when it's actually their turn, that takes so much time away from the stream that it's just disruptive to the flow. You know what I'm trying to say? It's disruptive. It doesn't allow me, the focal point of the actual entertainment, to just flow naturally. Because now I'm constantly preoccupied with who's next? Who's up next? All right, who's in? Who's out? You got to leave the lobby so so-and-so can join. Like if I have to do that in between every match, it just kills the flow of the stream. There's no energy. It's just, it's tedious. It becomes taxing. And that's why multiplayer is a gift and a curse, you know? There are some people that I really enjoy playing games with and I have a lot of fun with. And there are others that I don't. That's keeping it 100. I don't. You know, there's a lot of factors that go into play, but anytime it affects me, the streamer, that affects the entertainment value of the stream. And you got to think about stuff like that as a streamer, because you got to always be putting out your best product. And multiplayer, you know, it's one of those things where sometimes it's a gift, but sometimes it's a curse. And sometimes it makes me want to go back to playing more one-player games and then focus on just attracting pure viewers, right? Viewers, people that just want to watch your stream. They are happy and satisfied just watching your stream. Versus people that just want someone to play with, right? If people come to my channel just to play the game I'm streaming, if that's the only reason why they're there, they'll never stay. And they'll never stay long enough to actually help me grow or impact my ability to grow. Those are the kinds of people that follow the crowd. And guess what? If there's no crowd, they go find one. They go looking for one. And you know, these are my struggles right now. It's difficult, man. It's kind of difficult. And I think what it just boils down to is playing video games every day is not really my passion. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love video games, but my passion is to entertain. It's to make you guys smile and build this amazing community full of positive energy. You know, like that's really where my passion is. Some days I don't feel like playing anything. I can go days without playing video games and I'll be good. Some people have to play 2-3 games a day, 10 hours a day. That's not me, fam. The problem for me is that my current fan base, they usually disappear if they don't see me playing the game they feel like watching or playing. So I'm struggling. You know what I'm saying? I'm struggling. I'm struggling to find my audience, the audience I want. And honestly, I'm not really sure how. The only thing that I can do is play what I want to play, stream what I want to stream, and create content that makes me happy and that I enjoy. And whoever watches, watches. And who doesn't, doesn't. You know, my channel isn't a typical gaming channel. I understand that. You know, when I first started streaming, the very first follower I ever met in person, in real life, we hung out. And he said something to me that I didn't understand and I found very offensive. But it keeps replaying over and over in my head every time I encounter struggles on Twitch. It replays over and over. And he basically says, like, Maine, you're not like us, you know? Like, I'm a freaking gaming nerd. Like, you're not like a nerd at all. Like, you're one of the cool kids. And, like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people will have a hard time relating to you because, like, you're not as nerdy about the kinds of things we're nerdy about. And I was just kind of like, what does that even mean, bro? Like, what are you trying to say? He was like, no. Like, it's not really a bad thing. It's just like, you're not as relatable. I'm just trying to explain to you that, like, it's clear that you're not like a geek or like a nerd. Like, you know, you weren't one of those kids that got made fun of in school for loving video games and stuff like that. And I didn't really understand it at the time. I kind of took offense to it. I'm not going to lie. And I told him that. I kind of took offense to it, but I don't know, man. I'm starting to feel like more and more that, like, that shit is true. Like, my channel is not a typical gaming channel. And I've been watching a lot of streamers over the past 2 weeks. You know, I took a small hiatus. Maybe I'll talk about that in a future episode. But I took a small hiatus. I needed to. And I've been watching a lot of streamers. And they don't stream like me. They don't stream like me, you know? I know I'm not a quote-unquote video game nerd. Like, I know that. I'm the first person to tell you guys, like, I am not a hardcore gamer. I don't live and die by this shit like some people do. Like I say, I can go days without playing a game and be good. You know what I'm saying? My gaming content is more of a daily experience. You feel me? It's more of a daily experience full of jokes, randomness, funny conversations, but also insightful and meaningful commentary when it's called for. It's an experience. It isn't me trying to make it into Overwatch League by grinding comp every single day and just talking about my daily record every damn stream and where my SR is 24/7. It isn't about the Moira or the Mercy that's pocketing one person on the damn team or pocketing the only person that said thank you and throwing games or trying to get boosted. Like, it isn't about that. No matter how much I love Overwatch, and you guys know I love that damn game, like, I had to learn to put my channel goals above my gaming goals. And people see that. Like, people understand that. You guys know how much I love Overwatch. I don't even play comp anymore. I just do my placements, get my gold gun points, and just keep it moving. I don't even play comp anymore. I haven't played comp, like, seriously. Outside of just placements, I haven't played comp in maybe 8 seasons. And that's my favorite game. So, once again, I had to learn to put my channel goals above my gaming goals. And I think it's been very clear. You know, one thing that really annoys me, right? I have Overwatch faithfuls and I have former subs that still come to the channel. You know, people that enjoyed my Overwatch gameplay and enjoyed my Overwatch grinding and all the things I used to do when I used to play Overwatch the majority of the week. And a lot of people, you know, they stopped subbing because I don't play it that much anymore, which is what it is. That's all good. But some of them still stop by every now and then, right? Some of them still stop by every now and then. And one thing that really annoys me is when people come to the channel after God knows how long and then try to proclaim how much they love my channel and how much they miss my channel. How? You're never here. How? How do you love my channel? Please entertain me with this. Like, please tell me how. Like, if you love my channel as much as you're saying, you'd be here a lot more. And I understand how busy life can get, but let's be honest, right? Let's keep it a buck. I stream 5 days a week and have 15 different series on my YouTube channel that you can watch at your own convenience when you get time. Come on, man. Miss me with the bullshit. Come on, man. Stop. Like, who are you trying to impress? Stop. There are so many people that stop by my channel once every 6 months or something like that. And it's like they expect this huge reaction from me. It's like they want me to go ape shit that they stopped by for 5 minutes to profess their love for my channel. Oh my God, they must really love me. You stopped by for 5 minutes and you haven't been here for 6 months. I feel so special. Come on, man. You don't really love my channel. Stop fishing for attention. I hate that. Like, I had this one recent incident in Mario Kart, right? This viewer hasn't been to my channel in almost 2 years. 2 years. And wanted special treatment. You feel me? Mario Kart is the second game I ever played on Twitch. When I started playing Mario Kart, I probably had about 50 followers on Twitch. And I played Mario Kart for a long time. I was a very small streamer, man. You know? Things are different now. You know, I'm approaching year 3 as a streamer. Things are different. And this person wanted me to give them special treatment and bypass all my channel rules for them to play. And they got so mad when I told them, no, these are the rules, and they apply to everybody. They got so mad they threw a tantrum in the damn chat and started throwing insults my way just because they wanted special treatment. And the way my channel is set up right now, I only play with subs and regulars. I play with the people that are always here. That's what it is. I'm not going to change that for anybody at this point. And they were basically like, oh, you don't remember me? You don't know who I am? You don't know who I am, dog? You're not going to let me skip the line? You're not going to let me cut to the front? And I'm like, bruh, you haven't watched one stream of mine in over 2 years. Yet, I stream 5 days a week, B. Come on, man. What are you doing? What do you think this is? Like, where does your sense of entitlement come from? And that's why it's so confusing. It's hard to understand why people watch you stream. You were so damn excited to play Mario Kart with me and so excited to see I was streaming Mario Kart. Why don't you keep that same energy and stop by every day, regardless of the game I'm playing? If you enjoy my damn streams that much and you are so excited, I'm pretty sure you'd be excited to watch me play anything that I play. Because Mario Kart is not one of my best streams. It's got some good moments here and there, but it's not even in my top 5, fam. Jadakiss said it best, man. You know, too much fake love will make you hate love. And moments like that are so frustrating. Like, this is what I mean when I say you have to deal with people, even when you don't feel like dealing with people. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. But that's why it's important to keep positive energy around you, you know? Have a positive core of viewers and to stay inspired, you know? It's important to stay inspired. You know, this week, specifically this week, Roman Reigns gave me the inspiration I needed. You know, this is a guy that Man, anyone that's been in Discord and been subscribed to me on Twitch for a long time, you've seen me and certain people argue over Roman Reigns, but I know and I can see how hard Roman Reigns worked to get to where he was. And the thing is with him, people hated him because management put him in a position that they didn't think he was ready for, or more importantly, they didn't think he deserved. And Roman was busting his ass every day, locker room leader, and just working really hard to fill a role he was pushed into. Like, people don't understand that. He didn't choose that for himself. He didn't have that creative freedom. They made him fill a role that honestly he wasn't ready for yet. But he was working so damn hard to fill that shit. And the crowd hated him, man. People hated Roman Reigns so bad. No matter what storyline they came up with, they would boo him out of the damn building. Until he announced that all that hard work he was doing, all that training he was doing it while also fighting cancer. And everybody's face was just stoned. They couldn't believe it. This guy that I've hated on for so long is fighting leukemia and still working so hard and giving it 200% every night, even though we keep booing him out of the building and showing him all kinds of disrespect. And Roman walked away from the game, and he came back this week to announce that his cancer is in remission again and that he's coming back to WWE. And the crowd loves him. They love him. But Roman really inspired me because this is a guy that's working so damn hard to entertain people that didn't appreciate him. They didn't know what he was going through. They didn't know how hard he was working behind the scenes to keep them entertained and to be a leader for his peers, all while fighting cancer on the low, keeping his personal struggles as a secret from the world. Everything he's going through on a daily basis, a secret, while trying to make people happy every night he goes out to perform. And I really respect that, man. I really respect that. So, big shout out to Roman Reigns. I'm really glad he's back. You inspired me, my boy. You inspired me. He's my favorite wrestler right now. And he's not the best. He's not the best. But I'll tell you one thing about him. He's the hardest working person in WWE. Nobody saw it. And I've been saying it since day one. No one is working harder than him. And maybe he was pushed into the spotlight early before he was ready. But he has worked so damn hard to prove he belongs there. He works hard, man. And I respect that shit. And I tip my hat to him, man. I tip my hat to you, Roman. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And so hopefully today's podcast will paint a picture of what to expect in future episodes. I want this podcast to be weekly. And like I said before, I want to have guests come along in the future. So expect guests coming in future episodes and expect lots and lots of juicy stories for your entertainment. So, other than that, I'd also love to do ad reads in future episodes as well. So if there are any companies or individuals looking to promote a business venture of theirs, if you're interested in sponsoring future episodes, reach out to me via email. My email is MaineManiaBusiness@gmail.com. And that will wrap up the NineCast for this week, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for listening. Catch up on my Let's Plays and stay true.